DevOps with Liferay. What is DevOps? Well, I told you I don't want to go into too much details because you found the course anyways, and you probably already know, and there will be others who give you way better overview over what is DevOps. But just to briefly go through it, this course used to be named System Administration, and we're doing a lot of manual work to administer Liferay. And since we moved to Docker, I say we were fully buzzword compliant by doing that, but we're also adopting the philosophy. We're breaking down the barriers between development and operations because we're automating, basically with scripting work, we're automating the operations work, and will have a strong focus on collaboration between the different areas, between the operations and the development side, so that we have a strategy to bring any of your code into production as smoothly as possible. Now, as you see here, the 4 core values of DevOps: culture, automation, measurement, and sharing. That comes from John Willis and Damon Edwards, who, as I would like to say, started this whole movement. Looking at this, when I say we're going to smoothen the handover between development and operations, it might look like we're granting developers access to the production system. Now, if you tell that to any system administration person, they will show you the door quickly, personally, violently. Of course, that's not the case, but we want to have the same environment in development, in testing, in user acceptance test, and in production, so that we have already tested the go live in development, go live in user acceptance testing. If we use the same structure everywhere, we have a very easy way to determine, yes, this works, and this code works in the new environment. Instead of just saying, well, this is our development environment, we have all access, we do everything, and then this is a production environment and somebody else does whatever I have documented in Word. We don't want that. The most important aspect of this is automation, which is precisely what I told you earlier. I love using Docker in this course, even though personally I don't have that much of a background in Docker. But seeing the automation that we have in the Docker file, in all of the Docker configurations, shows me this is how to go from the raw files to the running image, to the running container. With this automation, we're going into system provisioning, configuration management, application building, testing, packaging, release, deployment. What does that mean? On every single one of these levels, we are using the same strategies. And naturally, in this training, we'll shorten it. We'll only use one environment, but you can deploy the same image on every single environment that you're running. Your development environment, your test environment, your live environment. On the system provisioning side, this course will use Docker, so we don't go bare metal, or not quite. If you install in bare metal on a virtualized system or in a container, is absolutely up to you. So you can use exactly the same strategies that we use here in Docker by just scripting your regular start scripts, by scripting your regular unzip operations, by configuring with your configuration management files. Anything works. Go bare metal, go container, go virtualization. I don't care. Liferay runs on whatever you want it to run on. And when you automate this, of course, you may want to automate more. You want to automate the creation of virtual servers. If you're running on virtual servers, you may need to automate the whole environment. Liferay, or Liferay DXP by itself, doesn't just run. It requires something in the environment. It requires a database. It requires a document storage. It requires a search index. And most likely you have some additional components that might require some access to a backend system that is completely up to you. It's custom code. We don't know of your backup systems. It might just be an LDAP server. Not backup service, but backend service. Sorry for that. So if you access your own LDAP server, your own single sign-on server, that's of course what you need to take care of as well. And, oh, by the way, yes, as it says here, container generation and management can be automated with container orchestrators. Yes, and that is what you can do. That is outside of the scope of this training. So we're stopping at the container level, and then everything else, all of the orchestration is up to you. So we'll be a little bit simplified, but the reason why I have some people here in the room is because I want to have some opinions. I want to have some protest. And also in the online participants, if you determine that this does not meet your policy, like any of the chapters does not meet your policy, please make a comment next to the video, because DevOps is neither right nor wrong. It's always according to policy or against policy. And if you figure out that one of our recommendations here is against your policy, I'd be very happy to discuss it. And the people in the room have the choice, have the chance to do so right here, right now. And if you're watching the video, well, you can protest, but I won't hear it. So please type it. We will need, what do we have here? A web server running in a container, the database container, and an Elasticsearch container. That's as far as we go in this training. And then we can run these in the various systems. That is, we can run in our integration systems, your own custom code. You probably develop something on top of Liferay and you want to test that before you're hitting the production system. You may have a build server that runs some automated tests. That's it. And then you want to deploy it on your test systems and on your production systems. As it says here, the continuous approach pipeline is centered around the build server. Be that Jenkins, be that anything else. In this training, yes, we can discuss how you can build it, but as we don't know what you build, how much you build, how custom your installation is, and what you do on top of Liferay, we're not discussing how to integrate Jenkins with the outcome, but we're building a Docker image and we're starting from scratch. And with that, you can always integrate your own build output from your Jenkins server and modify the Docker file, the Docker image, and then thus the container.